Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So, today's episode is going to be a bit of a different one. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about something that's been kind of thrown out there from time to time, essentially, and how, well, the ban list, when it comes to certain cards, there are ways that they could be changed so that, well, certain cards could be played in Commander still, but just not as a Commander. These cards are, problematic in one way, but not another. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting concept. And so I wanted to just break down, I believe there are 9 banned Commanders currently. Check me in the comments below if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, which of these 9 Commanders, if we had this kind of tier system of bannings, which would actually be banned entirely, and which would just be banned as, well, not being able to use outside the 99, I should say. I was going to say banned as Commander, but there's some differences there. So let's jump into it with my picks. And again, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. So comment below with your thoughts on this. Again, these are just my thoughts. These are just my opinions. And yeah, you might not agree with them, and that's okay. You might have different ones. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Regardless, let's jump into it. And let's start with the first category, which I'm going to be calling Tier 1. So with a Tier 1 ban, when it comes to a Commander, that means that, well, it can only be used in the 99, and the first one is Braids. In my opinion, Braids, if there was this tier system, right, which some players have, put out there and said, yeah, this should be a thing. If there was this tier system of bannings, Braids, in my opinion, would most definitely only be banned as a Commander. It would be completely fine in the 99. It would not be banned because, well, there's a lot of other cards out there that do what Braids does and more. I mean, like Smokestack, essentially. Cards like that can be pretty crazy. And Braids, yeah, as a Commander, some might say that's problematic. I really don't see Braids as problematic because certain groups wouldn't play with it. Anyways, Braids is a 2/2 human minion. I probably should have talked about that first. For 2 black. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, the player sacrifices an artifact, creature, or land. So yeah, Braids is not your friendliest kind of card out there. It's kind of like a stacks card, obviously. It says, let's just take away resources from everyone. Now it takes away from everyone, including the player of it. That being said, the player of it is probably going to have some fodder or things that actually want to be sacrificed. And yeah, they've got ways to kind of get around that downside to it. And as a Commander, sure, I mean, that could be problematic where players like, yeah, I'll get Dark Ritual, and other effects to get into play like turn 1, turn 2. And yeah, kind of shut players out of the game. Yeah, again, I think this is personally less problematic as a Commander, and I probably should say that's why, obviously, that, if this was a tier ranking where it's like, okay, yeah, Tier 1, fine in the 99. Braids, I think it'd be pretty hard to argue that Braids should be banned in the 99. It's more of a Commander-specific ban. So, Braids, I think, would be the first one that I think I'd bring up with that. And next up, well, yeah, Lutri the Spellchaser. Lutri is one that many players were very upset that was banned kind of right out of the get-go. Essentially, I think the day that this one was spoiled, I think right when this one was spoiled, the rules committee put out basically hey, Wizards, let us know about this card, and yeah, we are pre-banning this before you even think about using it in a deck, essentially, because yeah, this is a card that, well, is problematic for a very interesting reason. A 3/2 elemental otter for 1. Is it? I almost said Simic. Oh, today. Anyways, is it? Companion, each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name. Flash. When Lutri enters the battlefield, if you cast a copy target in-store spell, you control, you choose targets for the copy. Now again, when I said Tier 1 only in the 99, that is the specific designation of Tier 1. I didn't say, cannot be your Commander because, well, this isn't problematic as your Commander. This isn't problematic in the 99. This is specifically problematic as a companion because, yeah, this is just free companion for every deck that has Izzet colors, essentially, because you're in Singleton, you're playing Commander, unless you've got Relentless Rats in your deck, Persistent Petitioners in your deck, every single one of your non-land cards has a different name. That's just how the format works. So yeah, I'm completely for this card being banned as it currently is because, yeah, Izzet just doesn't get a free extra 101st card that has no downside to it at all. And yeah, there's a reason why it's currently banned. But yeah, with this distinction of only in the 99, the problem is there's no problem. This is a completely fine card in the 99. Again, this card is, well, Dual Caster Mage, but worse. I mean, better in some ways that it's slightly easier to cast because you've got access to blue or red essentially to cast it, but worse in that it's only a spell you control. So, yeah, there are different kinds of things that it doesn't work with. Like, Dual Caster Mage is like, hey, like, I'll counter your counterspell with its counterspell. That being said, yeah, there's a reason why this is banned currently, but again, with this distinction, with this brand new distinction of, yeah, hey, tier 1 is fine for 99, you could use it then. So there you go. Next up, I'm going to bring up Golos, Tireless Pilgrim. Golos is a card that, well, I love. It's near and dear to my heart. One of my favorite decks I ever built was my Golos deck, and I absolutely love that deck. I also built like another Golos deck that was just like random giant pile of cards, and you shuffle them, and then you take, I think it was like 50 or so cards out of that pile essentially, and then you add it to like a pre-built deck that has like ramp already in there, as well as some card draw or something like that. Yeah, this one was banned as a commander. Unfortunately, I think it's one of the most recent bans. I think Golos and like Hullbreacher were like two of the most recent bans essentially, and those were like 2 years ago, so it's been a while since we've seen a ban. That being said, I do believe that there was this tier distinction of, hey, tier 1, Golos can only be used in 99, completely fine. I think it'd be completely fine. A 3/5 Ledger Artifact Creature Scout that costs 5 ETBs. Go get a basic land, any land you want, come into play tapped. Then pay 2 in Wooburg, exilate top 3 cards of your library, play any of them this turn without mana cost. Yeah, I mean, hey, spin the wheel, get giant things off the top of your library. Not for free, I mean, it does cost 7 mana, but if you're going to build a deck around this crazy effect, yeah, I mean, you can still do that with Golos in 99 then, but not as your commander. Yeah, I mean, I don't like that Golos was banned at all, but yeah, I believe that if there was this kind of only 99 distinction for tier 1, Golos would be in that distinction. Golos would be allowed to be played in the 99 of, well, again, not any deck, 5-color decks, so any deck that it could possibly go in. Next up, here we go. Leovold, Emissary, Trest. Perhaps the commander that most deserves a ban because this is just gross. Absolutely gross. That's up for debate, I guess. But if it has that distinction of, you know, that tier 1, just in the 99, yeah, I think Leovold could be unbanned. I mean, not unbanned, but move to that distinction. 3/3 Elf Advisor for, well, black, green, blue. We have 3 of the most powerful colors in Magic, Sultai. Each opponent can draw more than 1 card each turn. Brutal! And whenever you or a permanent you control comes to target a spell or ability opponent controls, you may draw a card. Yeah, the thing that got this banned is not that second part. It is that first part. Obviously, hey, basically, Narset. I mean, I think Narset came out after this, right? So yeah, this is basically just the template of, hey, let's take away your hand because I'm just going to wheel and your hand is gone. Basically what Narset does, and because Narset currently isn't banned, this, for the 99, would be not problematic either. I mean, it would be not, friendly in certain groups. Certain groups wouldn't want it. That being said, yeah, it's not more pushed than Narset at all. So, unless that one ever got a ban, this one would not be banned as well. And this one just, yeah, you have a little more, pips in there that you actually have to, fix your mana for, essentially, right? You got to pay all Sultai colors. And it does give you a benefit, though, on top of that. So, yeah, I mean, just decks that are already using Narset would be using this, I'm sure. And then wheeling and then getting rid of their opponent's hands completely, and the game would basically be over from there. So, yeah, if Narset's not banned, this would not be banned as the card in the 99 as well. Next up, one that I don't think should be banned right now at all, but is Iona Shield of Emeria. This one, I believe, I don't think the rules committee, this is where it I believe this one would be a card in the 99 that should be allowed. I don't know if the rules committee would move on this because they don't like unfriendly effects that target a single player, I guess. A 7/7 angel that costs 9 mana in total. That's a lot, rules committee. 6 white, flying. Enters the battlefield as a color. Your opponents can't cast spells as a chosen color. Yes, there is the feel bad moment where that mono green player over there can't play a spell because you have shut them out of the game by playing this. That being said, your other opponents most likely aren't also playing mono green and can help deal with that. And that mono green player can make deals. Or maybe that mono green player has a colorless way of dealing with it. Maybe not. Maybe they do, though. Regardless, I do think that Iona, yeah, this is going to be where it's just mostly my opinion. Iona, I don't think should be banned at all right now. Anyways, it's a 9 mana mono white commander. Shouldn't be banned. But, yeah, there are others who disagree with me, and that's okay. That being said, yeah, if there was this tier distinction, maybe that'd be kind of like a halfway point of, okay, it can't be in the command zone, but it can be in 99, because, yeah, you're not going to get it every single game, unless you specifically built a deck to tutor it out every single time to shut down your friend that loves mono-color decks. So there you go. Yeah, Iona, I think, though, would be okay for this distinction. Next up, Rofellos, Llanowar, Emissary, a 2/1 elf that costs green, tap add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each force you control. Obviously worded in a very, very old way, but still basically tap for green based on number force you have. yeah, this can give you an absurd amount of mana really, really quickly, obviously in a mono green deck, which this would be helming as a commander, because, yeah, even if you just don't even ramp, right, you go turn 1, green forest, turn 1 forest, turn 2 forest, turn 3 forest. I mean, after you already got this on turn 2, then you're like, okay, tap for 6 mana on turn 3. That's a lot. Obviously, there are ways to ramp even quicker than that, ways to untap this, tap it again, get a ton of lands in play, ramp even further, tap them for a ton of mana. There are already commanders out there like Selval that taps for an absurd amount of mana. It takes a little more setup, though, kind of, in certain ways. Still, yeah, in the 99 of a deck, yeah, this would be like, okay, cool, yeah, my Priest of Titania is probably tapping for more than this in an elf deck. This is still tapping for a lot. My Elvish Archerd's probably also tapping for more than this. But yeah, this is a very good card in the 99 of a deck, but it would not, in my opinion, be banned in the 99 of a deck. So, there you go. Moving on, I've got a kind of a weird category for you. I just decided to kind of separate this one out, and maybe I should have done it with Iona too, because Iona is kind of more of like a, very much my opinion, very much, I know there's players that are very much against it just being in the 99 of any deck. But yeah, Erayo Soratami Ascendant, I think is one that is pretty questionable for whether, if they had this distinction of tier 1, only 99, if this would actually make it. So I did say tier 1 border. This one, I just couldn't decide. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below to help me decide on this one. But Erayo Soratami Ascendant is a 1-1 for 1 and a blue flying Moonfolk Monk. Whenever the force spell of a turn is played, flip it, and then it flips into, well, what the problematic part is. Erayo's Essence, counter the first spell played by each opponent each turn. It's legendary enchantment. So yeah, as a commander, gross. Basically, you'd build a Spellslinger deck, right? That probably has a lot of counter spells as well, and you just get this in play in the same turn, probably play 3 other spells so that you actually can just flip it right away and be like, okay, cool. Or yeah, you just wait for an opponent to cast a spell on their turn, 2 spells on their turn, then end their turn, cast 2. Whatever it is, you can flip this so quickly that your opponents then are kind of shut out, except for they kind of have to work on casting, holding up like enough mana for 1 spell that's going to get countered to start off with, and then actually casting the spell they want to cast. So really wasting their resources, both in cards and in mana. And then, hey, on top of that, I'm probably running a lot of counter spells as well if I'm playing this as my commander, so I just counter your spells you're actually trying to cast to really shut you down. Obviously, this card is problematic as a commander. That being said, in the 99 of a deck, maybe not so much. I mean, yeah, you could include this in a Spellslinger deck kind of as a really good and really solid kind of lock condition. That being said, you're not going to be able to get it every single game unless you really build the deck around like tutoring this out. It's in the 99, it's less likely to actually, you know, get it essentially. And obviously, if you're not building the entire deck around this, you might not build in as many effects, as many counter spells, etc., etc. So yeah, this is one that I'm kind of on the fence about. I'd love to hear in the comments below about what your thoughts are on this. Would this be a card that'd be okay in the 99 of decks, or would it just be a card that's like, no, completely banned? Kind of like the next cards that I'm going to be bringing up in Tier 0. But now that we're in Tier 0, yeah, the first one that I want to bring up that would, if this tier distinction did occur, if there was a Tier 1, only a 99, Tier 0, banned, no matter if it's a 99 or Command Zone or whatever, yeah, Griselbrand, in my opinion, would still be a card that is banned in every distinction. Griselbrand is a crazy good card. A 7/7 demon flying and lifelink that costs 4 black. I think I said that right. 8 mana in total. Pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. Definitely a reason why this is banned in as the command zone. Just easily getting this out and then probably drawing as many cards as you need, and then, you know, draining opponents, and then actually, you know, gaining life yourself, and then draining further, and then it's a crazy good effect. Being able to just pay life for nothing. Just, I mean, pay life, yes, you start at 40, so you can activate this, what, 5 times to start off with, probably, but you have other ways to, you know, gain more life. Being able to just freely draw cards like this is crazy good. I mean, like, Necropotence as a commander, essentially. Now, with that, there are some distinctions. You draw the cards right away, whereas Necropotence is like, no, you exile, then get them later. Yeah, this is a crazy good card. This is a card that, again, problematic in the command zone, also pretty problematic in the 99, I would say, and one that probably still would not be okay in the 99 of a lot of decks out there. This is a crazy good card. So yeah, Griselbrand, I do think that you, even if there was this distinction between Tier 1, fine for the 99, Tier 0, not at all. Never use it. I think Griselbrand would still stay in that never use it category. And finally, yeah, the card that I really think would be a Tier 0 is Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. Emrakul is a 15/15 for 15, but there are plenty of ways to ramp in Commander, right? Eldrazi that can't be countered, that's huge. Okay, next on top of that, whenever you cast a spell, take an extra turn for this one. Oh, okay. Flying, protection from spells that are one or more colors, another 6. Put in a grave from anywhere, shuffle it. Okay. This one is basically like, yeah, you cast this, you just probably win the game. You just probably win the game if you cast this. For extra turn, when you cast it, again, has to be cast from your hand, right? Essentially for it to get that, but still, I mean, actually, it just says when you cast, so I guess command zone happen too. But still, the argument here is the 99. Yeah, I don't think that this would be okay still, because this is just a card that you'd be like, yeah, okay, I play it. Okay, I win. Cool. No, next game, basically. Because, yeah, there are ways to obviously bounce it back to your hand, recast it. There are ways to just say, well, okay, I'll get extra combats, attack. Oh, you just sacrificed 12 permanents. Even just sacrificing 6 permanents, obviously, is crazy. And that player is just going to be wiped out of the game very, very quickly. Protection from all colors, one or more colors. That's going to be tough for your opponents to ever deal with this. 15/15 already hits for a ton. This card, I think, would be the one that just like at the top of the list of like, hey, what card that is currently banned, that is banned the command zone, essentially, that wouldn't be in your 99? Yeah, I think Emrakul would be it, because Emrakul is just an I win card as soon as you play it. So I think Emrakul, which actually technically could go in any deck, right? You need to be able to ramp to actually get to it and take advantage of it, but still, I think Emrakul is definitely kind of the definition of that, tier 0, not okay in the 99 either, kind of a commander. So yeah, those are my picks for, again, if there was that, tier 1 distinction of, hey, it's okay in the 99. Again, Lutri fans out there would be in love with that, because they're like, yeah, I can use Lutri finally, yay, awesome. And other commanders out there as well. I could use Golos again in the 99 of a deck, so that'd be great too. But yeah, I believe that I'm pretty happy with where my picks were. Again, Erayo, I literally am just kind of like on the edge about. I don't know. Maybe that one would be tier 0. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that one. Let me know your thoughts are on all of these. Do you think that the rules committee should institute a, tier 0, tier 1 ban list for commander specifically? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on all of this. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.